Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Catman. Albert, once a year, right before the season starts, we do a college preview. Then we turn around. We have a week always in between because the NFL will not start the clock till after Labor Day because there might be two eyeballs that are still on vacation.
Yeah, that's the truth. And they figure it out, though. They don't make mistakes.
No.
They don't make mistakes. Everybody's hungering for the NFL right now. Everybody can't wait for it to start, and they're ready with one more exhibition game to go. And when the NFL kicks off, it'll have a Super Bowl champ, Philadelphia, who nobody picked. And including our show, we were not near the Eagles last year.
And,
it's going to be very interesting.
And we were both honest, too. We didn't think Foles could do it. I'm not going to
Oh, yes, even when he came in,
here to
we said
tell
no,
you that. I said, I watched him against the Raiders. He was awful.
I agree. So
I said, they're going home.
we did. We both thought that. And he shocked us. And I was happy for him, really was.
Yeah,
and so he's a really good guy. So this year we're gonna go through our NFL picks, and you guys who watch it, take your notes and tell us where you disagree or agree. Write in to Greg, our producer at Armstrong Cable, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, let's start with the NFC. We have the Vikes on top of the division, 11-5. That's where I have them. Their over/under in Vegas is 10, 9.5. I have them right there, 11-5. I think the thing is, and we'll have to talk about this because we kind of morph them together between them and the Packers. If you told me right now who would finish ahead, I could give you the number better because there's this attitude, and we'll talk about it in a second. As long as Rodgers is alive, they're dangerous.
Oh, yeah, and it's proven fact that the league is run by quarterbacks. And that's why the Vikings, who we picked to go 11-5, we think we have a little upgrade. We think that Kirk Cousins is a little upgrade. We're not going to say we're going to check that one off 100%.
Okay, now he's an upgrade to Whedon.
Yes, to Kirk Keenum, whatever his name is.
Oh, Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, yeah.
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Yes.
And then he went to Denver. And then the guy that was there at Kansas City, he's now in Washington.
Alex
It seems like Fatso Gruden is glad that Cousins is gone. But I agree with you. I think Cousins will make Minnesota just a little better.
I do. I think he has.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in the upper 15 in the league, and that's what I see him. And with their defense, don't forget how great they are defensively. And most importantly, he has Cook back to run the football. And that gentleman can really fly. He can really run, and he could take a 3-yard day and take it 38 yards.
I remember seeing him at Florida State, and I thought, you know what? Because I knew that the kid coming out to Jacksonville, he was bad too.
Fournette.
These guys were bad news. And then didn't he get hurt in exhibition? And I thought, boy, Minnesota, they're not going to recover. But they did. I mean, they won on a fluke in that game with the Saints. But, they went into Philly. They scored first, and then they just laid an egg.
Yeah, and they're really good. But I think they're coming back with a strong defense, strong running game, and hunger to win. So we got the Vikings going 11-5. And as George said, Green Bay right behind them with the best quarterback outside of Brady, Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers, anytime he has that chip on his shoulder, that's when he takes off.
And now is he mad at the world? I know he's mad at his own team for letting Jordy Nelson go.
He's mad at everything.
But
he is.
At some point he's going to sign a contract that you're going to need a calculator to figure out.
A lot of money, yes.
Now, is he, in your mind, the best?
Brady's still the best.
He and Brady, because he gets it. In other words, I told somebody the other day, they didn't believe me. Flacco has more playoff wins than Rodgers.
How about that?
So they said to me, and I said, well, I'm just telling you. But
yes.
But when Rodgers has this aura, like Stephen A. Smith, who's so sarcastic, he's a bad man. He says he likes this Rodgers. Do they have enough weapons? Do they have enough weapons, Albert?
Oh, geez, Green Bay with Rodgers on the field. Yeah, so my
big
God.
Tight, is they have the big tight end?
They have everything. Yeah,
from New Orleans.
Yeah, they picked up Brent Graham.
How will he do that?
That's a perfect fit. You saw what he did with New Orleans. And then he went out west and struggled. Now he's back. Green Bay will score tons of points with Rodgers. There's no way to stop them. They go no huddle. They still have Cobb in the slot, Adams outside, Graham in the tight end, Jones at running back. They're loaded offensively. Can they stop somebody through the air? They went out and added cornerbacks galore, and they're hoping that will strengthen their defense because their front does put pressure on the quarterback. But their secondary has been so bad, George. But I just think Rodgers will take them to 10 wins. I don't think ever since Rodgers played, they've been under 10 wins. I don't think ever.
See, that gets me concerned. That concerns me.
Yeah, because he's one of those guys. On a Sunday afternoon, George and I have talked to many times. 10-4. There's 8 games on the slate.
Yeah.
That wonder who's going to win this game. Well, when he's playing,
He's winning.
they win that game. They come down the field and win that game. They usually get beat 37-10, and they'll pull out games with Rodgers all the time.
Let's talk Detroit Lions. Matt Patricia, new coach. I watched them the other night on the sideline. Exhibition game, and they come back and won, but it was clear that they weren't playing that well when their starters were in there. He's going to find it a lot different in New England, is he not?
Every coach does. You go right down the line. Charlie Weiss, Bill O'Brien, Matt Stafford will help him a lot because he makes plays. But I just think defensively, and more importantly, their offensive line, Stafford's going to be running for his life. That is going to be what is going to happen to him with their team if he happens to go on his back and get hurt, because he's going to get hit a lot like Luck did. Remember how Luck took all those hits?
And finally,
we'll see how tough Stafford is. He's a tough sucker. He always plays, but he's going to have to carry them.
How about Terrell Austin not being there? He's with the Bengals.
Our local guy.
Talk a little bit about that. He's from Sharon. He's had interviews. He's supposedly the next guy.
To us, he should already have a
But
job.
generally what happens, if the team is strong, like if the last coach was offense, then they get defense. So he's going to have to go somewhere, I'm guessing, where an offensive coach got fired, like Tampa.
I agree. That's his next job. Well, they want some defense. But Austin really put Detroit on the map with turnovers. They took the ball away from you. They got after the quarterback with pressure. It's going to be, with Patricia there, it's going to be interesting to see if they can adjust to New England schemes that are really, really diverse and tough to pick up.
Now he'll play everything. Will it look like a mini New England?
Yes.
Just like when you watch Charlie Weiss.
Right down the line. Right down
Romeo
the line. They all
Cornell.
do it the same way. Only thing, they don't have Brady. I say it all the time.
They don't have the devil.
This is the closest guy that taking over a team that has a really good
Did I
quarterback.
ever tell you a story about him? How smart he is. He and Belichick, they'd be in the room and something would happen and someone would grab the chalk and the other guys have to say, Bill, Matt, put that up there. He's that.
You can remember everything, right?
And he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's not playing.
Yeah.
But
he is
they
brilliant.
said he's brilliant.
He is brilliant. And immediately he screwed up. He thought he'd go in and punish him like Belichick does.
Yeah.
And they said, we're not practicing. No. we're not going to go on the practice squad. You're doing this. No. Every place has their niche, what you want to do, and he had to back off. Mm-hmm. And he has. I'll give him credit for that. We'll see if the offensive line can hold up. Detroit's always one of those teams you're never sure of, George.
You don't like playing them at Detroit, and you don't like Thanksgiving Day. You'd rather be somewhere else.
When you have a good quarterback. When you have a good quarterback, you have a chance. Stafford's good.
Yeah, Stafford, he's one of those come from behind guys, too.
Yes, he is.
Remember last year they had that play where the guy scored a touchdown and then they said, no, he wasn't over.
Jeez, it drives me nuts.
That killed them.
These replays
Hey, by the way, this week, real quick, they sent a video to all these teams about what was good and what was bad. Those things were down markedly. The penalties this week were way down.
I thought they had to. Didn't you think they had to?
Yeah.
Because the fan base and the coaches were hating this.
They don't know the rules.
Yes.
Hey, Bears, this guy's known as Nagy as a quarterback whisperer. He has the young kid from Mentor over there. They beat Pittsburgh opening game last year. They can run the ball a little bit. Did they have a chance to be
tough league.
8-8 or
tough
these
league.
other 6 games too tough?
It's a tough league, and there are going to be a lot of close games. We'll see if Trubisky has improved that much to get it done. Using the second year, they give him a little more rope. They let him do some things.
But it's a new coach.
Yep. So
now how will that work?
Well, he's an offense, like you said. He has always been a quarterback guy, so it should work out good. Trubisky should feel really comfortable under him. That's what should happen. And will they build the players' trust early? And that happens with wins. Chicago's going to have to win a little bit early, and if they do, there's a chance. But with that leg, you have to pick somebody at the bottom.
That's what happened. I was looking at
Chicago
because I like Minnesota. Mm-hmm. I sent my buddy a note, and I said, "What do you think about Minnesota?" And he said he saw it differently. He doesn't see. I think they're 5-1 in the league,
right?
And he doesn't.
And I don't either. I told you the same thing. I just think that on the road, you're trying to win it.
League's too tough.
Trying to win it those 3 places. I would pick those 3 places, which is different.
At Detroit, you're indoors.
Yes.
Green Bay, you got weather. Chicago, you got weather.
They just win at home. Those teams win at home. And that's just but I guess the whole NFL was at home, George.
That's
So you could say that on every conference.
You don't want to
probably.
go into Cleveland.
Yeah, almost. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh's going to
Let's
find out.
talk about that in the AFC. Let's look
Yep.
at that. We have the Steelers at 12-4 with the number 1 seed. The offensive line added to the quarterback, added to the best runner slash pass catching halfback slash receiver, added to the best receiver, Antonio Brown. How else can you look at them?
Well, and that's the problem because everybody looks at the same thing.
1/3.
And they are not going anywhere. Yet their defense doesn't get better. You can't win games every game 40-34. You can't do it. Butler's going to be on the hot seat for sure as a defensive coordinator. He did not get the job done in the playoffs last year. And I just heard something the other day that said people need to stop looking at the head coaches in the NFL. All the work is done by the assistant coaches. No, they said pro and college. He said stop. And that's where the most important
stops
hire.
there 'cause of the salary.
Oh, we know the salary's going to tell them that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying right now, Tom's going to not going to get fired. They don't do that in Pittsburgh.
No,
But if they don't do it,
no.
Butler's going to go.
Let's
So
talk
that's
a lot
his
about
defense.
this. No more Haley.
In Cleveland.
He and Ben.
In Cleveland.
He and Ben seem to have a. But here's the thing.
You can see him at Hard Knocks. Why it'd be hard to get along
But
with.
here's the thing, Al. They fired the guy you got along with great, Ray Arians.
Yes.
They fired a guy you didn't get along with, and they fired a guy you did get along with.
Yeah, the Arians trade was he has that ego that Tomlin didn't like. Haley is.
He saw AB there, Brie slipping
And you got to know
in.
him. You know what he's like. He's a shyster. I mean, he
looks
can
like a
slide right in
smooth
on you.
dude.
He's a smooth dude. He is.
All right.
Haley has no smoothness to him, and he just tells you, you see him on Hard Knocks.
That guy's going to beat him up before the year's over.
Yeah.
Or they're going to get into it. They're going to be rolling on. You're going to be watching the game. Remember
Greg
Buddy
Williams.
Ryan when he reached over? Well, one
Greg
day
Williams is
Williams and
nuts, too.
Haley are going to be rolling around.
Wouldn't surprise us, would it? Wouldn't surprise us at all.
The first day, he goes,
they both have that personality.
He hit him. He goes, how about some discipline? He goes, how about blocking them?
Yes. Yeah, they'll be going at each other. No
All
question.
right, let's talk. Now, here's the thing. They count these guys out, the Ravens at 7-9. Lamar Jackson, I mean, he just said the other day, he said, I don't know why people think I can't pass. Well, we kind of think we'll have to see. We know he can run.
Yes.
But in that league, the runners end up in a hospital.
And we looked at their schedule. Their tough games are on the road. And it's tough to win on the road in the NFL. And when your tough games are there, that's really tough. But they are. We call them the either-or team. It's hard to pick against the Ravens, George. Everybody just always counts them out. You just got done saying
Flacco more
wins
playoff
games.
wins than Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I know one thing. If there's a game at the end of the year, if someone goes to New England, I always tell Al, I said, Pittsburgh wants Baltimore in there. They'll go up to New England and not crap the bed.
Yeah, they're the one team that goes toe-to-toe in New England, looks them in the eye and says, we're going to beat you
Let's
up here
do this.
or a home for. We don't care what you do. But the rest of the league isn't very strong. I didn't say they can't be improved. Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati can be improved. But if you pick the conference that you wanted to be the best in, I think Pittsburgh did pick that. I know.
How about opening game? We're only 2 weeks. We have another show, so we can hit that a little harder next week. I'm thinking Cleveland. I know you think I'm whacked. I think Cleveland's going to beat them.
Why wouldn't they? They almost beat them last year.
They give them trouble.
Yeah, only 4.5 point spot too. That
tells you they
that
can
tells you they know. You're talking about 0-16 team.
Yeah.
Playing a team that's picked to play in the Super Bowl,
And they're 4
and it's a 4-point favorite. So that tells you right there. No question about it.
You wouldn't be shocked.
Not at all.
See, I usually watch them and think they can't win, but can they cover the spot? I always look at it differently. This year, I'm thinking they can win the game.
Taylor's a winner.
But, man, they go to New Orleans. They could be 0-2 out of the gate as easy as we are.
Well, they play Pittsburgh and New Orleans. Two of the teams probably, of the 8 teams picked to go in the Super Bowl, there are 2 of them. So if they come out and we go 1-1 in that, Cleveland's going to win 8 games.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk Brownies. Most improved team?
Yes.
0-6 would be impressive.
That's 6 more wins? They are the most improved team in no question. They got talent.
Is there any pressure there?
Can they get no, I don't think there's any pressure. On Drew Jackson, yes. But not on the team. The team, they didn't win any games.
Is Jackson fired give me a record?
6 I think he wins 6, he won't be fired.
Under 6?
Under 6, he's gone. Yep. I think that's what the fans and ownership think.
Okay.
Like you just said. What's the first thing out of your mouth? I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh.
And I don't think they're good.
If they beat Pittsburgh, they're getting more than 6. They're having 8.
All right.
I mean, that's one of the games.
Let's talk Tyrod because we both like him.
Yeah, I do. We do.
I'll say these stats again: 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And what's the key in the NFL? Not turn the ball over. He doesn't.
And it's a good relationship there because Mayfield understands it. He understands that he's the guy, and he's working hard to be ready to go in when if Taylor goes down. He's reliable. Taylor's always been reliable. He can get first down with his legs. Now you won't see big stats with him. And that's it. So Cleveland's defense is going to have to play because they'll be on the field a lot more than some of these other teams because he'll throw the ball away to make sure that you don't turn the ball over to the other team.
Are you a Tyrod Taylor guy?
Always have been. We always have. Not in college, you weren't though. Remember, we taught in college.
Virginia Tech. We never thought
We didn't think he'd be a pro.
We're good on most of the guys. We're usually better on the good guys not making it. But
We didn't think, and he surprised us with his arm, his accuracy, more importantly, his caring. I mean, he really gets it. He practices hard, does everything right, and good guy for Mayfield.
I root for him.
Behind, so do I.
All right, how about the Bengals? 6-10. Do they need a reboot?
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. And people will say every year, look at their team. Look out. They got players on the field. They don't seem to get it done.
They're suspecting a breakout year from this one runner.
Oh, Joe Nixon.
Is it Mixon? Is it Mixon?
Has to be
He's
Mixon.
that Oklahoma guy?
Yeah,
I saw him
pick.
run wild down to West Virginia one day.
Yeah, it has to be him because but they're moving him like Bell. They watched Pittsburgh's films and they said we're going to use him as Bell. He's catching a lot of passes in the slot, out of the backfield, all over the place. So he's doing that. They haven't been able to beat the Steelers, and if you're going to get out of that league,
No, you can't.
you got to beat the Steelers.
That year, those dopes ran on the field and got those penalties.
Remember that game?
They moved the ball up 30 yards for him. I honestly felt bad. You know what I mean? It was just that bum Joey Porter was out on the field.
Yeah, perfect. How about that combination?
Perfect. Joey Porter and Pac-Man. Now, Pac-Man today, Denver worked him out. They're going to sign him.
Well, he's always worth signing as a player, but he's never worth signing as a guy on your team.
Did I tell you about him catching those 6-7 footballs at one time?
Yeah, you did. Think about athletics.
And like you said, they can't beat the Steelers. Let's look at the AFCs. We got the Pats at 10-6. I mean, I know they're great, and I know it's a dynasty, but I also know, could you be in an easier division?
Yeah, we talked about Pittsburgh's division. New England has historically played in the worst division. These three teams, Buffalo, Miami, and Jets, are always lousy. That's just the way it is. Jets will make a little up this year with their defense, but I think New England only has to win 9 to win the league. We have them down for 10-6.
They're coming back to us finally after 15 years.
Coming back a little bit, but when they got Gronk and Brady, and they always look the same.
They lost some good players, though.
Yeah, they did. They did. Some of the players left. They got tired of hearing the stuff that they were talking about. Yeah. I know Hightower's still back there playing, but they're trying to get their defense back in order. And because the Eagles made them pay.
Rush.
And that, yes.
The Eagles threw the ball
all over the field against them, yes.
Line's the weakest.
They always say that, but I don't believe it. I wrote it down too, but they're thought of as weak. But every time I watch him play.
And he gets the ball out.
Yeah. Faster than anybody in the league. Yeah. He's out in 2.5 all the time.
Now, they have some tough games early. I know they opened the season with a tough one. They have a couple tough ones early.
That schedule.
I'm hesitant to go against them, and I had told you the other day, you do fantasy. I don't do it, but I have an idea. The guy from, I think it's Minnesota's
Patterson.
I have a feeling, and I saw the other night he had a nice game.
Yeah, well, he's always had talent. And when Belichick signs you and puts you in the right positions to be successful, that's his strength.
That's his best.
That's his strength.
Okay.
And so Edelman will be back after 4 games, and you put Edelman, Patterson, and Gronk out there, and Hogan, immediately you're thinking, man, I think they don't look that bad to me.
Yeah. Someone said they're no good.
Yes.
Jets, we like Bowles. He's done a nice job there. Darnold, it appears, I watched the other night, I watched the Giant game, and it appears that I wanted Bridgewater. I thought Bridgewater at least would show well enough someone would grab him. This kid right now remember, you're getting all vanilla ice cream.
Yes.
No vanilla ice cream game 1.
No.
Right?
No. Darnold should be. He's one of the top quarterbacks picked. Mm-hmm. He should be the guy that does really well. But they will not just sit there in secondary in the NFL and let him pick you apart. And he has been known to turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. Mayfield doesn't. Darnold does. That was the difference between the two when we watched them come out. We're going to see if when he's hit on the blind side, that ball goes flying out. He carries it really loosely. If he can protect the ball, then I know the Jets will go 8-8 because their defense is really good. And they
beat 3 playoff teams last year.
Yes.
Remember we talked about that. 8-8. I hear Tannehill. I'm reading nothing behind him. He's injury prone, and I hear there's nothing behind him.
Yeah, isn't
That's
that the truth?
rolling the dice.
Isn't that the truth, George? That it's hard to find backup quarterbacks in the NFL.
I get it.
It really is hard to find backup quarterbacks.
Buffalo, they're my one under. They're my biggest under. You have them at 5. You're being kind, I think.
Well, people are writing them off, and I thought defensively they showed they played great defense in the playoffs. I always say, you always look at one side of the ball.
Okay.
These, Jacksonville wins with defense. Why can't Buffalo win a little? But you have to pick somebody. We can't be like
They can't all 16. Yeah. Street and Smith. I thought they're all going undefeated.
Yeah, so you have to do that. You have to pick somebody that's not going to do well.
That's exactly. That's the NFC East. We got the Eagles at top, 11-5. They'll win the division right now. Quarterback, the coach got a little antsy with the media today. He's feeling a little pressure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because the Redhead's not ready yet, and it appears that the backup's injured.
The bullseye's on you.
And that's the other
they
thing.
they went through it last year, so the bullseye. They're still the strongest team in that league, though. But Dallas, New York, and Washington, I think you throw all three together.
Talk Dallas 8-8. Does that surprise you, or is that where they belong?
That's what they're going to be. They're going to be a team one week. You're saying, man, does Dallas look good? And then you go see them the next week and say, geez. Sean Lee's a big part of that team.
Oh, no, we know that. We
They're
learn
big
the
part
hard
of
way.
that team.
Real quick on the Giants, 8-8, about right. Beckham today signed a contract. They had to bring a Brinks truck to the banquet.
Yes.
Jeez.
And the most improved team in the NFC will be the Giants. When you put Barkley and Beckham out on the field, their offense immediately goes sky high, much better. The Redskins, I think, are the least
We don't like the Skins.
thing, but they're going to try to run the football because they have a good offensive
And
line.
I don't like Gruden. I don't like any of the Gruden.
You're not the Gruden man.
No. AFC West Chargers right there. Everybody likes them 11-5. I'm Missouri. I'm Mr. Missouri here. You're going to have to show me.
And that's
I've been
my
reading
team.
about how good they are. Them and those stinking Raiders, I know they're no good.
I know the Raiders aren't, but I really like the Chargers.
Okay.
I'll be shocked that the Chargers don't have a tremendous year. They've loaded up on pass rushers, because that's how you win in the pros.
Right.
Allen's back as a receiver. We'll see what happens. I'm a big Charger guy. I'm jumping on the bandwagon full blast. George's, like you said, show me. I want to show him.
You got to show me.
Yes.
I know Bosa can get the quarterback, but that stinking Phillip Rivers. My indentation of Phil Rivers is down 17 with 3 minutes, scrambling back but not getting there. That's my Phil Rivers.
They have done it. They have done that.
Kansas City 8-8. I heard they're going to have some offense. We know Kelsey's the next Gronk. Our buddy's his agent, and Kelsey's bad dude.
Yeah, he is. It's all going to go on to Mahomes. And Andy Reid has rolled the dice and said, we're going all in with a guy who can throw the ball down the field. I don't think it's in Andy Reid's DNA to throw the ball down the field.
No.
We'll see. I think 8-8. I think Denver 7-9. One thing about Denver, we'll tell you on the show.
Yep.
We did tell you that Lynch wasn't going to be a bust.
Oh, we were on that
yeah.
one. We told
the
you.
kid from Memphis State.
And
he has not been good at all.
the Raiders all show no go. Mr. I get up at 3 OT. I said, I get an argument with a guy on Twitter. I said, how would you know he gets up at 10 after 3 if he didn't want you
He
to
told
know?
you no. He wanted you to know. And that's the team everybody's going against, and I hate that. Mm-hmm. Because when everybody goes against somebody in the pros, or everybody goes for somebody in the pros, they're wrong, but we're picking them at 4-12.
Who would you rather have, Gruden or Mack? Mack. Would you rather have Gruden standing there or Mack out there?
Yeah, they miss Mack.
Let's do the West NFC. Rams 11-5. They look like they're going to be filthy. They added a bunch of players. The only caveat, can they get along and mesh?
Winning will take care of that.
Okay.
And that's the team.
I like that.
That's the team I think will go to Super Bowl out of the, out of the NFC. They're loaded. I think their coach is really good. And with Gurley, they can get the first downs on third down. I really like their team.
Frisco 8-8, about rehab. Jimmy Garoppolo has never lost.
Yeah, Garoppolo has been a major pickup. And I'm giving them 8 wins because of that. Next year, that San Fran will move into the double figure of wins. This year, they'll move up to 8 and 8.
The Seahawks are on the wane.
What do we
like
see?
Russell Wilson.
That's what we see it, And
It is a hard place to play, but I think it was that Legion of Doom that made it hard.
Yeah, it did. And somebody has to lose once again in that league.
Yep.
And we chose Seattle as the team to go 7-9. They have so many question marks, and they have a brutal November and December.
And here's the team
schedule.
Al doesn't like, and I do, Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to be better than people think. I worry about the quarterback position, but I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and their defense is solid.
Well, I picked them at 6-10. And George, how many wins do you think they're going to get?
8-8.
They're going to go 8-8. Okay, 2 more wins. All right. So
I see them in Seattle possibly switching spots.
all right. So they go. Seattle goes 6-10, and Arizona goes.
That's it. No.
No. That's why we're talking.
It's
on
a
the show.
hunch. It's a hunch.
So I put him at 6-10 only because I'm not a Sam Bradford guy.
No, I don't believe
I'm not a Bradford guy.
Tell me now he's going to play every game.
No,
I know he's not.
He can't play every game.
Let's go AFC top. The Texans 10-6. You get the big stud back from Clemson. You get the big boy back.
Good team.
Watt is a good team
Really
on
good
paper.
team.
I hate their coach, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, they have a really good team. They proved it when Watson was playing.
Oh, Deshaun Watson,
Man, they were putting up points. Watson's
They were
really
bad news.
Watson's really
They
good.
were bad news.
I think they'll win that division, but it won't be easy because the team that's going to really follow Cleveland.
Captain Andrew.
Andrew Luck's back. And when you got a quarterback in the NFL,
Yep.
and they went out and got their offensive line fixed up,
Mm-hmm.
they have made the right moves. They're going to be dangerous. Watch out for Indy early in the year. People are going to think they're not any good, and they're going to beat some people.
You and I agree. Jacksonville at 8-8. I don't like that loud mouth, all that gum flapping back there.
Well, offensively, they're just so weak offensively. It's hard for me to believe
that
they didn't come back and do what they did last year. So we're gonna go down on Jack. We're selling on Jacksonville, no question.
And the Titans, like I said, they're like my team. You boy, they look better, Al, but someone has to lose. We're not Mariota guys. We're okay on Mariota.
That's all. Okay, he can look good one game. He's so inconsistent with his accuracy. Boy, he's so athletic and such a great person, but he needs to get more accurate.
I agree. Let's do NFC South. This is where I think your champions come in my eyes. I like New Orleans. I agree, 11-5. Their number is 9.5. I like them, although I will say this. If there's a league that you could turn the paper
Every
upside down, New
Every
Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa,
No
very
question. Carolina.
possible.
I know.
Let's talk about it. You got a great head coach. You got a gunslinger in Breeze. Good draft. Can they protect them?
Yeah, oh yeah, Breeze gets it out too. So they're a home genius. They made their team for the turf. Can they win in December on the road? And if they can, they will be around late in the season, no question.
But we got Atlanta 10-6. Good coach, good quarterback, nice, underrated. 5 of their last 7 at home. Can they still be in it at that point? They open with Philly on the road. I have them 0-1.
Yeah, and most people are really loving this team. They're loving them more than New Orleans. We play them a little bit below New Orleans. Wouldn't be surprised if with that continuity of Atlanta coming back from a year that they struggled. Julio Jones, can he come back full speed and play at like he's supposed to play? Yeah. That'll be big.
Carolina Panthers 8-8. Cam Newton can get you a first down at any one time, but he can sail it over your head at any one time too. McCaffrey, a great pick last year.
Yeah, we love him. They're going to use him all over the place. Their front 7 is one of the best in the NFC defensively. Can their secondary hold up? Once again, somebody has to lose. Mm-hmm. You have New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, all 3.
Yeah,
here's
our Tampa, just because first 4 games without Jameis Winston, it's still immature off the field. They have a rough beginning, and like you say, without him, and somebody has to lose. It's probably the best division, top to bottom.
Yeah, I do. And when you look at Tampa Bay, they are a team you can never pick year to year. That's why George said, "Wonder who's going to win the league." We're picking New Orleans. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise us if New Orleans goes 7-9.
And I'll count Cam Newton out.
Yeah, and say, "Man, Carolina, they played great all year." It's a tough league to pick, no question
Give me your
about that.
Super Bowl.
Well, I already said I said I'm going to go with the 2 LA teams. I'm jumping out. I'm all in on LA. I'm all in on the Chargers and all in on the Rams. So we're going to see that city jumping at the end of the year. What do you got, George?
Well, I got, that's a tough one for me. I got the Rams in the NFC. I struggle in the NFC. I'm going to put the Steelers in and make everybody happy that listens to our radio show that calls me a hater. I'm going to take Pittsburgh versus the Rams, a repeat of Vince Ferragamo.
Yes, that's a while back for you guys. I thought George was taking Minnesota. I'm surprised he didn't. He took the Rams.
It's a tough. You know why? I think it's easier for them to get there. That Green Bay's in my head.
That's
and if they have to play on the road, then I know.
So getting the home field
advantage
I believe
is everything.
I
believe
got you. That is big. Okay.
Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.